Hey, what's happening, people? It's your boy Blaze here. Welcome back to another installment of Venomous Reloaded. You see your boy. And today we got another wild one, man. I had to laugh at this title, man. This is coming from Atozi, and it's called Influencer Sued Her Husband for Making Her Lose 2 Followers. Wow. Just wow. This is living proof, man. You can sue for anything nowadays. Like, you can get sued for not taking out the trash. You can get sued for making people lose followers. You can get sued for messing up their influencer life. What world are we living in? That is the real $1 million question. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. So we gonna get into this video from Atozi, man. I know he had a ball making this video. I know he did. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I cannot believe it.
This woman filed a police complaint against her husband because his nagging about household chores made her lose 2 whole Instagram followers. Let that sink in. 2 followers. Not 200, not 2,000, 2. And this just wasn't even like a passive-aggressive post about him either. Nisha packed up, left her home, and went straight to the police. I thought this story was satire when I first saw it, but no, this actually happened. This woman is only publicly being called Nisha right now, but I'll get into that later on in this video, why her and her husband's images and names are all redacted. The gist is essentially that Nisha is an influencer from India who called the police on her husband because he dared to suggest that she would do, a little bit of housework instead of just making Instagram reels. You can't make this up. She told the officers, my followers declined as I was kept busy washing utensils and cleaning the house by my husband. I didn't get time to make reels. Excuse me, what? What?
Yo, I know he had a ball making this video, but wow. So she decided to sue her husband for being made to do a little bit of housework instead of doing content for her social media. Wow. What in the actual fuck? I gotta laugh at the story, but damn, this is sad. You can get sued for anything nowadays. Like, what the fuck?
Imagine being a cop in that situation, sitting at your desk, and someone storms in like, he's ruining my follower account. Hello? I don't know how they even kept a straight face. Like, does this count as filing a false report? Because
exactly.
This is beyond ridiculous. Nisha, our main character here, she's from the Harper district, just outside of like New Delhi. According to reports, she's very active on Instagram, clearly to be doing all this. So she apparently posted up to 2 reels a day. That might not sound like too much for the grand scheme of influencer life, but for her, this was some serious business. This was her identity, essentially. And obviously, she kept a very close track of her follower count. So close that she noticed a drop of 2 followers and immediately blamed her husband. And here's the kick.
Like, you have to be that meticulous and that insane to notice, like, you lost 2 whole followers. How insane does that sound? Wow. Just wow. I hate to be the cops in this situation, just what the fuck?
This wasn't a one-off complaint. She was also so upset that she actually left her husband, moved back in with her parents, and filed a legal complaint accusing him of essentially sabotaging her influencer career because he wanted the house clean. Now, I feel like you kind of have to feel a little bit bad for Vijendra, the husband of this whole mess, because he thought he was making a reasonable request. Like, hey, could you maybe just help around the house a little bit? Maybe wash the dish or 2.
Insane.
Maybe just take a break from the ring light and the TikTok dance moves. But no, instead, she went full-on scorched earth and turned this into a legal battle. And when Vijendra responded to his own complaint, he told police that his wife was so addicted to social media, she neglected her housework and even threatened divorce if he didn't let her just keep posting Instagram reels. Like, how did this argument really play out? Because the whole thing just sounds infinitely bizarre to me. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And not only that, but I hope that you caught the part where she said that he filed a counterclaim. So yeah, I mean, I guess you have this whole ridiculous part of the wife taking Instagram Reels so serious that she gets the cops involved when she can't post her daily content because I guess she has to wash her dish or two. But for some reason, she has all the time in the world to report this to the police, sue her husband, and now I guess he's countersuing. And it's not like that's not going to take up any time at all. Like, these are marriage problems. This is not anything legal. This should be like stuff they should be discussing in therapy, maybe. Might need a whole lot more than just therapy for this one, though. But
yeah, they're gonna need a whole lot of therapy. But I would feel bad for the therapist. Like imagine them going to therapy and they're talking about this issue. At the end of the session, I feel like the psychiatrist is gonna need a psychiatrist at the end of the day. Because ain't no way in hell I'm getting paid enough to deal with this. I'm sorry, but no.
so the police step in, probably wondering what is even going on here. Aruna Rai, the station house officer at the woman's police station, told The Independent Nisha had filed a complaint of harassment against her own husband. When the husband presented his side, we stepped in to mediate, and the couple were counseled. So I guess this is like counseled by the police here. So can you imagine being that poor officer tasked to mediating this counseling session? Okay, so
I would feel bad for the officers that was involved in all this. Like, real talk. Like, they could be dealing with a whole lot more serious issues, but they have to take their time to deal with this insanity at the end of the day. Man, the world we live in.
How about Nisha only makes one Instagram reel a day and then she washes like 4 dishes? Can we split all this down the middle? Is that fair for everyone involved? Hey. But also, I mean, hey, if you gotta be bargaining with your wife to just help around the house, you don't really have a teammate, and that might not be someone you want to spend the rest of your life with. And hey, even on her side, if she feels that her husband is stopping her from completing her calling, clearly that's not the teammate she needs either. But apparently, to make things worse, this case gave the police a tough time trying to resolve, according to them. Probably due to the fact that Nisha insisted that she had to keep making reels every single day through the whole thing. And I mean, I can only just imagine this counseling session where the husband's complaining about her reels while she's just actively sitting there making reels during the session. I feel like this would be a funny comedic bit, but also extremely depressing since it's just reality. But in the end, Nisha withdrew her complaint after several sessions. But by then, the damage was done. This whole situation is actually just a textbook example of fame addiction. Like, we live in this.
Yep. Fame addiction, it's a motherfucker. And you know what they say, the price of fame is extremely high? Believe it, because people will do anything to be famous. And the fact that old girl was just consumed with the whole influencer life, that she could not distinct that from reality. And honestly, he even said it best. Like, the damage was done at this point. Like, after a couple of sessions, there's no damage control here. Like, you could not repair what is already done, unfortunately. And the time wasted on this is even more bizarre. The fact that the law enforcement had to get involved and counsel these two idiots when they could be dealing with much more serious issues that's going on within the perimeter. Wow.
Age where, for some people, their self-worth is literally tied to their number of followers next to their profile picture.
When we first get on social media for the first time or after a long period of time, the amount of dopamine that's released, we think, is quite substantial. It's novel. Remember, dopamine is about novelty, surprise, and the sense that we are on some exciting track. That's what dopamine is really about.
I mean, Nisha, she lost 2 followers, and it triggered a full-blown domestic meltdown. I mean, I'm still shocked that it's 2 followers. Like, it's not 2 million followers, 200,000 followers. It's 2 followers. Like,
2
this
whole
is
followers.
No financial impact. Also, you basically don't really make money on Instagram from like a platform basis, like it's all in like sponsored brand deals, 2 followers won't fluctuate anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the whole situation just does not make sense to me. Because I mean, 2 followers could be a bot and your alt account. Like, come on here. Clearly, fame is something people just want. For some, it's basically just a drug. Like, this is just beyond a hit of dopamine for her. And now, if you don't want to hear that just from me, let me quote some actual doctors here, like Dr. Reef Karim, who said little kids today don't just want to be doctors or lawyers, they want to be famous. And to put it lightly, that's a slippery slope. And I feel like we've seen enough of these clips of these scumbag middle schoolers on Kick to know how this is true.
Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
And you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again.
Don't watch the.
Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think
And
you are?
stop filming me.
You're a nobody. It's a live stream. We can't stop it.
Who the f are you?
And this is the world we live in. Like, people would do anything to get famous. Not even taking into account that, you know, doing reckless dumb shit has consequences. And these kids nowadays, they do not get it. They don't get it. And honestly, if I was the parents, I would be on their ass. Like, bro, you're doing too much. You're doing 5 much. And the lady right here, she deserves the whole right to be pissed. Like, you're digging your whole hand into her food. Like, bro, not only is that rude, that is ridiculous. And try that with the wrong person. You're gonna have a whole different outcome.
Give me the phone.
Now you're not touching my phone. Touch my phone. I'm gonna actually do something.
Are you gonna beat me up?
I will. I will.
How old are you? 5?
You think I do Do you?
All right, hold up.
Do you?
Don't do that again.
Hold up. Yeah, shut the f up. Don't watch it.
Obviously, this is an older clip, but it's definitely reminding me that harassing people for your own streaming content is sadly here to stay, as this new generation of streamers
Unfortunately,
apparently
yes.
just love any attention they can get, no matter how they get it. Obviously, the content that kid makes isn't the same as the lady that we've been talking about here, but at the core, both are so desperately addicted to social media attention that they will go way overboard to just keep getting it by either harassing strangers or suing your own spouse. And I guess to quote a psychologist by the name of Bethany Marshall, a lot of our own youth, their parents don't love them unconditionally for who they are. The fantasy of just being loved for just who you are, I guess, is why people will just search social media validation for people to, I guess, love them. And I do want to preface this and say, this is not everyone. This is hopefully a very small minority of people. But clearly, these people exist. And I guess that's where this whole loop starts. Like, fame and attention becomes this whole mood enhancer, the thing that tells you that you matter. And then, like any addiction, it's never enough. Because you hit like one milestone, you need to hit the next, and so on and so on. And suddenly...
It's addicting. It is very addictive, and it gets to a point where you're basically doing any and everything to hit more plateaus. Like, you hit one plateau, you gotta hit another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and it keeps on going until you get consumed by it. And when you get consumed by it, you lose your own self-identity, and that's tough.
If you lose 2 followers, apparently you're calling the police. And I mean, hey, let's be real. Fame used to be this whole byproduct of doing something great. You acted, you sang, you won a medal, you led a nation. Now, I guess you could be famous for being famous, because we live in a fascinating era in the world right now. Again, we're in an era where kids don't want to be astronauts or doctors at the same rate anymore. They want to be famous influencers. They want to be followed, adored, and validated. And I mean, I guess the latter makes sense, but that just starts the whole chase. You're not just posting reels, you're posting your own self-worth on a timeline, waiting for likes to tell you that, hey, that you're okay. This is why we have to ask, like, at what point does content creation stop being fun or creative and just become a full-blown obsession? I guess we got a hint of that earlier, so the point might be when you call the police on your own husband because you love...
Nowadays, like, creating content is no longer fun. It basically becomes an addiction. And not in a good way, because when you get into content creating and you do it for all the wrong reasons, you want to go viral, you want to get some kind of self-worth. Not even looking at the fact that you're doing this just for validation. You're not even doing this just for the fun of it. You're doing it for validation, and that could be addicting, and it, like I said, it can make you lose your whole self-worth. I mean, even shocking that you have any to begin with. It's crazy.
Lost 2 followers on Instagram, which probably has nothing to do with the actions of your husband. But hey, what do I know? After all this, after the police involvement, after the counseling, the viral headlines, what happened? Well, the couple is still living apart. And here's the part that actually made me sad. Vijinda, the husband, lost his job over this whole ordeal. So News 18 reported that he's been struggling to find new work, going door to door looking for employment, because in his community this whole thing went viral. It's like, imagine you're trying to land a job and the first thing people remember about you is, oh yeah, isn't this the guy whose wife called the police and sued him over losing 2 Instagram followers? That's rough. I am sorry you had to go through that. And it's probably why they're not giving any comments, or why Nisha's socials aren't attached to any of these news outlets. Because for someone who is obsessed with going viral, she sure doesn't want her face out there now. And it's probably just because, like, essentially, she ruined their lives. Just the thought of having
literally
someone lose 2 Instagram followers, have an entire relationship collapse, that's beyond me. Hopefully there was more going on behind the scenes, because I'm just scrambling to find anything to justify this. Obviously, it's a funny but also a cautionary tale on what happens when social media completely consumes your life. Like the idea that your marriage, your family, your job security could have just completely fall apart just because of 2 Instagram followers. It's wild. It's beyond wild to me, and I hope she finds some help. Nisha and Vijinda probably never imagined they'd end up as a punchline to some international headlines, but here we are. All over, again, 2 Instagram followers. So let that be a lesson. If you're going to ruin your life over some followers, you better be making some funny money out here and not 2 followers. He's doing all this over 2 followers means that she needs like the doctor's prescription to go touch some grass, because this is ridiculous. But I mean, hey, at least she didn't get sent to prison for a year over a TikTok video like this dude did. Because this whole situation is a ridiculous story that I would definitely recommend checking out. But either way, I'll see you guys in the next video. And
man, yo, I still want to cook this food. Like, if I ever run into him, I want to cook him. I want to cook him something vicious. But yeah, this food right here, yo, if you haven't seen my reaction to that food, I recommend go check that out, because that story is absolutely insane. But dude, that's the thing about social media, man. When it consumes your everyday life and it conflicts with your personal life, a lot can happen to damage your personal life in the process, and you don't even realize that until it's too late. But man, the crazy story about the husband actually losing his job because of this, yo, that sucks. But that's what happens when you have social media take over your whole life. And the fact that the wife pretty much set all of this in motion. Like, she's gonna continue to go on and do the influencer lifestyle while the husband is struggling. That's how insane this got. But let that be a lesson. Yo, sometimes you have to let social media go to the wayside and make sure your personal life is as strong as ever. Because if not, you may wind up in this situation, unfortunately. But man, yo, let me know what y'all thoughts are about this video, man. As ridiculous as it was entertaining just because of the commentary on its own, man. Much love to Tozy for this video, man. And as always, thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this one, and don't forget to tell your peoples across the globe, come kick it with your boys. Just one solid time, and you already know what to do next, my peoples. Please do follow your boy on social media right over yonder. And this is your boy Blaze saying Chuck the Deuce, and I will see y'all in the next video, and I am out.